Si nos queremos entrar. A ver, test. Okay, fantastic. Hello.
Hola.
Hola. Bonjour.
Can I sit?
Please, take a seat. Feel comfortable.
Can I have some water, please?
And I will serve you water. Definitely.
Malaga water.
Malaga
Per
water is the
favor.
freshest you can get.
Salute.
Okay. So, I'm still standing because I want to make a little exercise with you. Everybody has earphones for translation, English, everything good? Okay. So this presentation will be in English, even we could have it in German, of course, but we prefer English. So, I want to do a little exercise with you. So, I want you to close your eyes now. It's a typical conference question. Close your eyes. And now, this conference is about the internet, okay? And I want you to think about your experience this morning with the internet. When you woke up and you connected your devices, think about this moment, internet, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, do you imagine how it was? Do you remember how it was 10 years ago? The internet? Think about, feelings, challenges, connectivity, internet, okay? Now imagine 10 years forward. What do you feel about the internet? Is it fear? Is it passion? Are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? Okay. Now, before she gets to sleep, I want to introduce you to one of our biggest constructors. We're here constructing the internet, and here on stage with me today is one of the hard workers, those who work in the internet and the construction.
Sí, señor.
Nnenna Nwakanma. Thank you for being here. It's a big pleasure to be your interviewer today. I'm a little bit nervous, so please don't. She is here to help me.
Some water.
I serve myself a water.
Okay.
So, Nnenna is a chief web advocate for the World Wide Web Foundation. She has been working 15 years for the United Nations. And she is a co-founder of the Free Software Association and the Open Source Foundation for Africa. Mm-hmm. Please welcome with me, Nnenna Nwakanma. Nnenna, you are traveling quite a lot. And yesterday you told me you were doing the last 4 days, 5 days, like 3 countries or something like that?
Yes.
What has been your experience with the internet in these days?
Hola. So, my experience, I can see people behind very well. I can see the people here very well. That's kind of my experience with the internet. Do you remember? Who knows that sound? What is that? Dial-up. Okay. I was born under the dial-up edition of the internet, and now I just connect Wi-Fi, okay? So that has been my experience. My name is Nnenna. I come from the internet. I'm one of the early users of the internet in Africa. And like I said, I started with dial-up, and now I have fiber at home. So I've gone through a lot of the stages of internet connection. Today, this morning, okay, how many of you belong to those who can answer? There are 2 questions. They ask you, how long do you stay online in one day? How many of you stay online in 24 hours? How many of you are online for 5 hours at least? 10 hours? 20 hours? That's me. So you don't ask me how long do you spend online. You ask me, how long can you stay offline? Because naturally, I'm supposed to be online. So when I say I'm from the internet, it means that every day I have to have connection. Otherwise, my phone will think I'm dead.
Absolutely.
If I don't post online, Twitter will send me an email. Are you okay? Facebook will send me a message. We are missing you. And LinkedIn will say, what's up with you, baby? So most of my life, of course, I work. So if you send me if my office sends me an email and I don't respond in 6 hours, something is wrong. Even if I'm flying. So before I fly an airline, I will actually check, is there Wi-Fi on board? When I come to a hotel, they're like, your room is number one, whatever. This is your welcome drink. Breakfast is like, what's the Wi-Fi?
What the Wi-Fi?
So Wi-Fi comes before food for some of us. Because once you have Wi-Fi, you can order food online.
Marvelous introductions. I think that makes very clear how important the internet is today for us.
Yes.
And as we have Nnenna today here, of course, she has been traveling now. You come from New York.
I came from New York, yes.
You were at the UN summit.
Yes, I was.
And what are you talking about there? What happened at the UN and what happened with you there communicating?
Okay, that's a very complicated question. How many of you have not heard about the United Nations? Is there someone here who has not heard about the United Nations? Great, thank you, Lord. So everybody knows about the UN. Now, what you know about the UN, that's your business. What I know about the UN is that it is the one organization where we have most of humanity as members. That's the way I look at it. It is not the best organization in humanity, but we don't have a better organization. It is really very important. The second thing I know about the UN is that when an issue, a problem is brought to the UN, it means that bilaterally, countries are not able to solve that problem. I'll take that again. If a problem has been brought to the United Nations, it means that countries have tried to solve it by themselves, multilaterally or bilaterally, and they are not able to do it. And so they bring it to the UN. That is the case now of digital cooperation. In 2020, the pandemic hit humanity, and we used a lot of technology to solve the problems. Imagine one instant if we did not have the internet, how many people would have died of COVID? If we did not have internet connectivity, how many people would have died of COVID? That's one question. And so after COVID, the UN is looking for priorities to help rebuild humanity. And this framework is called our common agenda. It is not bigger than the SDGs, but it is just prioritizing some things. In the frame of digital cooperation, the UN has agreed on a set of rules that we should work on a set of rules, a set of agreements for an open, secure digital future. It is not digital present, it is digital future. It is not digital past, it is digital future. You asked us what we were 10 years ago, what we were this morning, and what we will be in the next 10 years. And so the Office of the United Nations Tech Envoy on Technology, is helping listen to people and ask us, what do we want to see in the digital future of the world? I will share on Empodera Live, I will share the hashtag and the website for you to go and tell the UN what you think the internet should be in 10 years. Thank you for working with us. That is one of the things I went to do in New York.
I think this is a great introduction also from Yolanda. We started off talking with Rosa with the local internet, the construction of a local ecosystem, with what happens on this level, and now we suddenly are on the very top level, on the global level agenda. And there's one thing Nnenna has been working with in the last few weeks and months, which is now present, which is a global compact.
Yes.
So can you explain to our audience here today, what is exactly the global compact? So what is behind there?
In 2018, my boss, the inventor of the World Wide Web, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, launched something called the Contract for the Web. The Contract for the Web is a set of 9 principles that guide the policies for all of us. 3 principles for governments, 3 principles for industry, and 3 principles for users. The important thing about the Contract for the Web was that it gave a framework, a kind of direction. And so in 2019, the UN speaks to us. Mr. Guterres calls us and says, we are also working on something similar for the world. And that was how I got to start, the Web Foundation started collaborating. The Global Digital Compact will be, how many of you know about IGF, Internet Governance Forum? I think
raise your hands.
Internet it's okay. Anna here? Yes. Anna Neves. Anna, please stand. Yes, please come. Sorry, sir.
Take over.
Yes. Yeah, one of the things I do is to champion women, right? Okay. So Anna Neves is one of the early participants of the internet governance. And you are from Spain?
Portugal.
You're from Portugal? Yes. So please, this is Anna. I just want to say thank you for all the work you have done in internet governance. Anna has been there through WISIS and the Tunis agenda.
Right.
That was 23 years ago.
When I was like 3 years old, yes.
Thank you again. All right.
We will have the pleasure tomorrow to listen to Anna.
So, Anna and myself, we worked on something called the World Summit on Information Society in 2003 and 2005. Since then, we had something called the Tunis Agenda. It was an agenda to develop technology across the world in all countries. So for the past 25 years, we have not, as humanity, had an agreement on digital future. So the Global Digital Compact, which will be adopted in 2024, it's not next year, it's in September 2024, will be the next agreement for digital future that the UN will adopt. That is basically what it is.
And why does it matter? And who cares?
Okay.
Why should we care what happens in the UN?
Right. Someone here is from the European Union. Okay. Has anybody here heard about GDPR?
Great export, European export good.
Okay. It's not just European. These are the things, the way security, privacy matters in the EU is the way it matters all over the world. Data privacy is one of the issues in the Global Digital Compact. Global connectivity, connecting people to the internet, because I come from Africa and not half the population of Africa are connected, is one of the issues. What do we need to do? Regulation of AI is one of the issues. I think there are some, Anna is here, the other Anna, or Maria. Someone from here, yeah, you are from the AI, ethical AI people. There's some AI people here. You are part of the thing. Human rights online is one of the big things. Fake news and misleading content, propaganda online is one of the things we want to agree on. So it does matter to us that we agree on certain things. I have not just been working with the UN framework for 15 years, I have been following global ICT policy for 25 years. And what happens is that we do not agree on many things, especially when our interests are threatened. But with the pandemic, we have seen that there are things we really need to agree on. Now, the thing about the UN is that it's not a place you go to get excited.
My question yesterday to you.
Yes, I'll be honest with you, because humanity is about 8 billion, and our interests matter a lot. For those of you who are here, you may think that global connectivity is not an issue. But hey, I came from New York, and I can tell you that even in the city of New York, there are people who do not have good, meaningful internet connectivity. You can go to downtown Manhattan and you are good, but when you step out into the Bronx, you don't. I don't know what it is in Spain, but it's not because you're in Barcelona, you're in Madrid, you're in Malaga, you're in Sevilla, you are in the big cities. What happens? What's the quality of service that you get when you go out into the rural area? Security online is something very important. I speak about online gender-based violence. I'm happy that I saw the lady from Andalusia and the lady from the Malaga here. Many women in public offices are facing huge abuse online, and women journalists. And what is happening is that when you keep abusing women, when you keep unleashing violence on women, they seem to go down. They withdraw their activity online. Sometimes they shut down their social media accounts. And this is dangerous for the internet we want in 10 years. And this is one of the reasons that the Web Foundation has launched a year of action on online gender-based violence. Earlier on, Isis was talking about getting women involved. I am happy that in Spain, women are engaged. But if we do not collectively give the same rights to men and women, if we do not collectively decide that women need to be safe online, then we cannot have the digital future that we dream of.
This is a good, your dreams, this is a good pause. So we talked about the challenges, okay? So we have access, we have women, we have propaganda,
Yes.
we have
Data privacy?
Data privacy laws. Now, how do you envision, you yourself, what are your dreams about, the internet can become, should become? How the audience tomorrow, after this conference, should be involved in the process you're describing?
Okay.
Give some practical advices eventually, if you have.
So I work with the creators of the internet and the inventor of the World Wide Web. Now I'm going to ask you a question. If you believe the internet is a tool, please raise your hand. A tool like NUT, a tool, raise your hand. Okay? If you believe the internet is a communication channel, if you believe the internet is a platform, if you believe the internet is a commercial entity, okay, so the internet is all of that. Now, if you believe the internet is IP and networks, where are the techies? Okay.
We have software engineers here.
Yes, so the internet is all of that. Now, one last question. If you believe the internet is the people who use it, let me see your hand. Those are my people, right? So the internet is all of that. And so when I teach internet, I let people understand that it is not one thing, it is a reality. So it is a tool, it is a platform, it is all of that. That means we have not, number one thing I'd like to leave with you, we have not finished creating the internet. We have not finished creating the World Wide Web. We're talking about Web3, we're talking about the metaverse. So we are still creating it. The original inventors believe that they will start it and you will continue it. So first of all, think of yourself as a creator. That your actions, your attitude will affect what the internet will be in 10 years. Secondly, as a group, in whatever stakeholder group you find yourself, whether you are in the policy making, you are in the research, you are in the design and engineering, you are building the internet. And whatever you build, whatever decisions you take today will affect what the internet will be tomorrow. Your habits online, what you teach the internet, what you contribute will also affect the internet. So I want to talk about these three things. Please be responsible as a user of the internet. It is not algorithms that abuse people. It is human beings who will say bad things about other people. Differences are okay. You should not be aggressive online. So first of all, be a good citizen, offline and online. That is my first challenge. Secondly, as a creator, as a decision maker, think of why those who built the web and the internet gave it out for humanity. It is for it to be for everyone. So if your actions as a stakeholder is taking some people out of the internet or disconnecting them or disenfranchising them, that is a problem. So always think, am I doing this? Can everyone use this? Is this available for everyone? Or am I locking some people out? Now, in the way you create content, think of other people. It is really very important. People worry about how the English language is taking over the internet. For people who live in Spain, think of tomorrow. Think of Malaga tomorrow. Don't just think of the internet in 10 years. Think of Malaga on the internet in 10 years. And think of what you're doing now and how that will affect the internet tomorrow. Someone is here from Andalusia talking about entrepreneurs. Are we growing the people we need? Are we ensuring the human rights we need? Are we ensuring the infrastructure investment that we need? Are we ensuring that our attitude today will build for humanity tomorrow? Once again, I have to ask you, if the internet stops existing, what will humanity be?
Without TikTok. This was absolutely amazing. Now it's your turn. Jorge is the master of the universe here, has the microphones. This is your opportunity to speak to the top. The top. Tomorrow it can be in the United Nations and
Yes.
make decisions. So this is a unique opportunity. Grab the microphone, ask her questions, or tell her that she's right or wrong.
Yes.
Hola, hola, ¿el micro? Hola, hola, ¿el micro no me funciona? Ahora, solo quiero decir una cosilla. ¿Hay alguien por ahí, no sé quién es, que tiene el pinganillo a tope?
We have already made our first step forward, okay? We are here on stage, so now it's your turn to...
Si lo puede bajar, sería de agradecer. Gracias.
Microphone?
Hola, hola. Okay. So, Spain and many European countries have fairly advanced digital administration. And it's not only the administration, also private companies, commercial use of the internet is widely spread. Mm-hmm. But there comes a problem with internet access, and not physical access to the phones. It's Thiverel Ontario that supports this event. Mm-hmm. has been teaching people for many years of all ages and all discriminated groups to form part of the internet, to be able to use it. But it is still true that there's certain groups of people who never will. What is your take of how your digital future will affect those people? Thank you.
When we talk about connectivity, we're not saying that every human being must connect online. But there is nobody, we're saying that everyone who wishes to connect will be able to connect. There are still people, let me take this back. I'm trying to find a good illustration. Availability is what is needed, and accessibility. There are people who decide that they will not have a mobile phone, a smartphone. They have decided that they will not have a smartphone. They've decided to live their lives that way, but those people are very few. That may concern Spain. But in Africa, we are looking at doctors. We don't have enough doctors to go around. So we don't have enough teachers to go around. So with internet access, you can come to school, and so a teacher can be in the city and be teaching those in the village. When I was younger, 10 years ago, it was possible for one family to have one phone number, and maybe it's one person in the family, and everybody receives their message on that phone. So it's not that I own the phone, it's not that I own the internet connection, but I get the value of connectivity. Having said that, it is important for us not to calculate the value of connectivity with just devices and money. There are other things people do that is not necessarily visible to you. When I got connected to the internet, I was just coming out of university. It was in the late 90s. Do you know what I did with the internet? Please don't laugh. I formed a soccer team, a soccer squad. I'm a football fan. So that was my most important problem. It wasn't email. Soccer was the first thing I did online. And then I designed clothes for myself. So there are uses of the internet that you have no idea about. I have a daughter who is 27 years old. And when she was getting online, I asked her, what is it that teenagers are doing online? She says, I log in, I go to Gucci, Valentino, Balenciaga. I do online shopping. I choose everything I want. Dior perfume, all those nice things. I just fill my basket, and then I close it and I go away. You know, I didn't know. It's like all window shopping online. I'm like, only stupid people can do that. Oh no, it's just, it's like a sport. They just go and feel like they are buying stuff. And then after, they shop for like $10,000, $20,000, and they just close it and go away. So only, you see what I mean? These are values that have nothing to do with money, but they're individual values. Women and other people take photos of themselves. They wear their makeup, they take photos of themselves, and they post online. That's enough value. It has no money attached to it, but it beefs up your self-esteem.
A great answer, I think.
So my mother, I have an 80-year-old mother. She's not online.
Not yet.
Not yet online. But she will call the grandchildren and say, look to Facebook and tell me what is happening there. I want to know what my children are doing on Facebook. Go to Nnenna's Twitter and see what she's doing. And then she will call me on the phone. She's like, so you are in Malaga in Spain. Give me Spain news. She is not online, but she's getting someone to surf online and tell her the news.
Wonderful.
Okay? Right, let me stop there.
Yes. We have the allowance for one more question. Brief, okay, please, to maintain the agenda.
Tweet with this hashtag, and I'm online, I will respond.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Really fantastic explanation, Nnenna. I have one thing, because you asked us to disagree with you. And I'm going to disagree with one thing that you argued. That is that I would not like to have internet connection on the plane. I'll tell you why. Because this is the only place where I can still read without being disturbed. To put it a bit more fundamental, we also speak about the right to disconnect. You know? So I don't know what you think about that, and if the UN also doing things about, to also have the right, the possibility not to be connected. Thank you.
Oh, that's a very easy thing. That's a very easy thing. They said in the connected world, luxury is to be not connected. So it's now the new high, the big thing. Only very important people can afford disconnection. Those of us who are waiting for bank alerts, those of us who are waiting for email alerts, we cannot afford to be disconnected. The reason I'm connected is because I have to feed myself. The reason I'm connected is because I'm looking after family. The reason I'm connected is because my children are in school. The reason I'm connected is because I'm working. The reason I'm connected is because I'm not retired. The reason I'm connected is because I'm tracking my banking. So I cannot get disconnected because my life depends on it. But if you have enough money and if you have someone to take care of your stuff, baby, you can disconnect.
That was a wonderful answer. Nnenna, thanks a lot for this wonderful discussion this morning here in Malaga. Thanks for listening, and I hand over to Jorge.
Thank you.
Thank you. A big applause.
Your bags?
Hola a todos y a todas.
Hello to you all. I would like to introduce you to someone really special. She's a poet, Sonia Aldama. She's part of the Association of Female Writers and Illustrators, she as well. And in order to render this event more special, in the last edition we had a section entitled Civic Verses, which is all about summarizing through verses, through the sensitivity that Sonia has and her creativity to summarize what Nnenna's intervention inspired to her. So here it goes. Thank you very much, Yolanda, for inviting me over. It is a pleasure for me to be here. I'm going to read some verses about the intervention from Nnenna, this wonderful woman. Nnenna, constructor of ideas, precursor, Nnenna, pioneer, reference, Nnenna, woman, Africa, creator, searching, finding an egalitarian future. Nnenna sails the world in order to rebuild humankind.